Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Dr. Obiorah Mbah, Igbo, reaching you from Mahadum. Today's date in Igbo calendar, which is lunar calendar, is Afọ, Awo, market day. No one can know in the 4th month in lunar calendar, which is lunar calendar is the way our ancestors follows the calendar. Our ancestors follows lunar calendar, and that's our calendar. So today's date is our market day. No one can know in the 4th month of lunar calendar. In the foreign Roman Catholic calendar, today is 20th May 20th, 2024. Like we always advise you, always follow your own calendar. The one given to you by your ancestors. That's the one you should be following. And not the foreign colonial Roman Catholic calendar. It is very important. Today's lecture is titled Bad Government Policies Resulted to Active Cultism and Yahoo Boys. Yes, you need to know that it is bad government policies that resulted to active cultism and Yahoo Boys anywhere in the world. Be it in America, be it in South America, be it in North America, be it in Australia, be it in China, be it in Russia, be it in the Gulf, in Arabia, which is the Muslim world, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, anywhere in the Middle East, all around the world. That's why I left that map for you. Cultism and Yahoo Boys are all over the place. It's not only in Africa or in Nigeria that you have cultism and Yahoo Boys. But when the government in place is not making good policies for the youths, that's when you see Yahoo Boys and cultists being very active, being prominent in the communities. So that is today's title. Because at Nkolo Mahadum, Wisdom University, we organize lectures in such a way that lectures that you never think about, and present it to you from Biafran and African perspective, looking at the deep problem, deep cause. What is the deep cause of active cultism and Yahoo Boys in our land? It is because of bad government policies. Now, often they hear arrest them, kill them, jail them. That shouldn't be the case. You should first of all ask a question to the government. What was your plan for any child being born in your land? What plan do you have for any child that is being born in your land? Starting from the parents who is trying to produce that child in your land. Does the parents have jobs? Does the parents live in a house or live on the street? How many times does the parents feed? What kind of food are they eating before they even produce another child? Okay, if the parents who are bringing in a child is not taken care of in terms of housing, clothing, feeding well, how can they be able to produce another child and take care of that child well? Before we continue, we have to ask you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our program, comment, follow us, share our program, and tell your friends about what we are providing you, the information we are providing you from Obiorah Mbah. And so, what hospitals do you have for the parents? And now, when the parents are about to produce this child who will tomorrow become a cultist or a yahoo boys, are you sure? Is the government sure? Have the government prepared these parents to be able to feed this child well from this immediately they are born? To take care of this child? The government provide any subsidy for the parents? Did the government provide any allowance because another child is being brought into the community? Those are the questions you should be asking. And then, as the child is growing up, what do you have in the environment? What kind of schools do you have? From kindergarten to primary, secondary, and university. What kind of school do you have? What do you teach in those schools? So you can tell that it is failure of government that had made cultism and yahoo boys active. It doesn't mean that there's no cultism in other societies or in other countries. They are, but they're not as active as they are in Nigeria, and more especially in Biafra land, because the governments of those countries taking care of the children, taking care of the citizens. And so, what Obiorah Mbah want you to take away from today's lecture is that it is the failure of government that have resulted to active cultism and yahoo boys in our land, in Biafra land, in Africa. Did you provide this child good education? What kind of education? Is it the theoretical education that they provide them these days? Theoretical without no practicality? That when a child graduates, what is he going to do with theory? And then afterwards, let's assume the child graduated from that your school or went to any training that you have. Is it a training that is going to actually set up this child to be busy? That's the question the government needs to be answering. The problem of active cultism and yahoo boys in our communities is as a result of government failure to be doing their job, to be asking the correct question. Now, for example, after this child have graduated, what does the government do? If they don't have job, do you pay for their housing? Do you give them housing allowance? Do you give them feeding allowance? What are you giving them after they graduated and there's no jobs? What do you have for them? You don't think that they have responsibilities to their parents and to their communities? So these are the problems. Our people are just seeing things only from the surface. That's not how to see things. Look at the root cause. The root cause is government failure to do what they're supposed to be doing for the citizens. So imagine this child that just graduated or have matured and it's not doing anything. And the government doesn't care. Why they control all the resources, control all the revenues. It is government's responsibility to make sure that our youths are taken care of. It's not good enough for you to just go and arrest them, jail them, putting them in prison. That's not the answer. Or killing them. That's not the answer. They have a life to live too. So you don't have to kill them. You have to do the needful. I'm calling on all governments in Biafra land, in Africa, to be doing the needful for the youths. The youths are your future. The children you are getting today is the future of that community. So whatever foundation you lay for them, that's how that community will prosper in future. So you need to pay massive attention to the youths, because they are the future of tomorrow of any community. In fact, of all the communities. That's why Obiorah Mbah has decided to prepare this lecture and present it today to you. To see where the problem lies. Always I hear that people are shot, so many killed here and there in Awka. Because I'm from Awka, in Anambra State. Now I ask, how many factories do you have in Awka, my town? How many factories in Awka that employs 500 people? Tell me one factory in Awka that is, what is 500? Let's come down to 300. I guess if you look, you will find out that there may be none. There may be not even one factory employing more than 300 people at a time. Talk less of employing 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 people. There are no jobs for the youth. Even the jobs you are giving them, is that jobs enough to take care of their family with the current high cost of things? So the government need to start living up to their responsibilities in order to stop this cult and Yahoo boys activism in our communities. It can be stopped with good government policy. So that even if they are there, they will not be active the way they are right now. Yes, they can belong, but they may not be active. But what we are witnessing these days is that they are very, very, very active. And that's why we are raising up the issue at Obiorah Mbah. I'm pointing the finger at the right place, which is the government. The government is very far away from the people. They're not doing much for the people. All they care in most cases is arrest and punish and jail and kill. That's not the answer. The answer is for you to do the right thing. And the right thing is for you to make sure you provide the necessary things for every family that is within your administration. Provide things, everything that is needed for the youth to be successful in life. But you are not doing it. You are not doing it. That's why you have this excessive cultism and yahoo boys activities in our lands. Now, I read it in the paper where the governor of, is it somebody in Makurdi, is saying that yahoo boys contributed to high cost of housing in Makurdi. Look at that. Look at that kind of statement from government officials. Which means you allow that industry to continue to exist in your land, which means you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Therefore, Nkola Mahadum is calling on all governments in Biafra land, in Africa, to live up to your responsibility to the youths. It is your failure to the youths that has been resulting to active cultism and yahoo boys in our land. You can stop it. And before we continue, we have to beg you again to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our program, comment, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and share our programs. And let the people know. Tell your friends, your well-wishers, about what we are presenting to you. It makes sense for you to know the root cause of certain things in our land. So finally, what you have to take away from today's lecture is that government bad policies, government failures is resulting to active cultism and yahoo boys in our communities. The government should live up to their responsibilities to the youths and to the families. Make sure that any child being born in your area of administration, that you have a plan for him or her. That's your responsibility. And stop this arresting and killing and punishing the youth in that way because of your failure to do your job. It's your failure to do your job that is resulting to what the youths are doing. Take care of your youths. Take care of the families. Take care of human beings in your area that you are overseeing. It is your responsibility. That's what Nkola Mahadum wants you to know today. Thank you very much for watching. Again, before we conclude, we must beg you to support the Eastern Security Network. The security network set up by our tested and trusted leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to protect our farms and forests and bushes, because that's where the Fulani herdsmen terrorists camp and launch attacks on our people from there. Support them so that our land will be better, so that you and I will be better, so that Biafra land will be better, so that Africa will be better. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Obiorah Mbah, Igbo Weze. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.